Good morning. Welcome to online English class. Hopefully all my students are fine. Today you are going to learn about a very interesting grammar topic, and that is adverbs. Adverbs are very important as they add color to your piece of writing and they make it more impressive and more interesting for the reader. Let's start the lesson with the learning objectives. You all are going to read with me. So start reading loudly. Can I identify adverbs in sentences? Can I differentiate between adjectives and adverbs? Students will be able to know more about the topic by watching a video. Now we are going to do an intro starter activity. So be attentive everyone. Let me tell you what is an adverb. You are going to listen attentively. You all are going to read with me. Adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So, adverb is a word that can describe an action word, that is a verb, a describing word, that is an adjective, or it can describe another adverb that adds more meaning to a verb. Let me tell you, adverb is one of the parts of speech. We have done the parts of speech before, like nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions, and conjunctions. So this time we are going to do adverbs. Now let's see how adverb describes verb, an adjective, or another adverb. For example, I ate my dinner quickly. Here, the word quickly tells us how the action of eating happened. So, the boy ate his dinner quickly. So, the action of eating happened quickly. Here, quickly is a describing word, or you can say an adjective, and it describes the action word or the verb ate. Dear students, let's have a look at another example. Sam sees many puppies outside. In this example, the word outside tells us where the action of seeing the puppy happened. That is, outside describes the action word sees. Now, let's have a look at this slide. What is written on the slide? Read the sentence with me loudly. My father came home early. Here, early tells us when the action happened. That is, early describes the action word came. So, you can see from the example that adverb describes the action word came. And what was the adverb here? Early. I know my dear students must be waiting for the song. So let's enjoy an interesting song on adverbs.
Get your favorite Kids Learning Tube t-shirt or song today at kidslearningtubeshop.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Kids Learning Tube! We are the adverbs. We modify everything that's not a noun. We can describe or modify any verb or adjective around. We are adverbs. We typically describe a verb. We explain how, when, or where something happened, you will learn. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs by describing an action before or after these types of words. Here's how an adverb modifies an action word. Let's look at some examples of how we add to a verb. When I say Matthew ran quickly, quickly is the adverb. It further describes the action ran. We just modified the verb word. When the red-eyed tree frog croaked loudly, loudly is the adverb describing how the frog croaked, you see. If you hear Black Panthers live everywhere, everywhere's the adverb describing where the Black Panthers live. Live being the modified verb. The gorilla will climb now, now being the adverb describing when the gorilla climbs. Climb is the modified verb. Here's a list of how adverbs you can remember and learn. Try them with any action word when you go add to some verbs. Briskly, adoringly, carefully, gracefully, eagerly, happily, quickly, and urgently. Now here's some when adverbs. It's just a few I'm sure you've heard. They're a lot of fun to say when properly learned. Before daily, never now, then tomorrow, when today, weekly, afterwards, annually, still yesterday. Let's move on to where adverbs. Please learn them at your own pace. They describe where the action word may have taken place. Abroad, anywhere, away, here and somewhere outside. There, underground, upstairs, home, out, inside. Adverbs are a lot of fun when they describe an action word. After this we'll learn how adverbs modify adjectives you've heard. We are the adverbs. We modify everything that's not a noun. We can describe or modify any verb or adjective around. We are adverbs. We typically describe a verb. We explain how, when, or where something happened, you will learn. Adverbs also have the talent to modify an adjective. Here are a few examples in this lesson I will give. This elephant's ears are very big. Very is the adverb describing the ear's intensity of big. The adjective you heard. That's an unusually tall tree. The adverb's unusually intensifying tall. The adjective that's described, you see. Let's look at adverbs that modify other adverbs, which is called an intensifier. Here are some words. Almost daily I am animating. Almost tells how daily. Both almost and daily are adverbs. Now you see. My brother runs very fast. Very tells how fast he runs. Adverbs modifying adverbs. This lesson's done. We are the adverbs. We modify everything that's not a noun. We can describe or modify any verb or adjective around. We are adverbs. We typically describe a verb. We explain how, when, or where something happened, you will learn. Kids Learning Too!
An adverb is a word that tells something more about a verb. So, it tells us more about a verb, or in other words, you can say it adds meaning to the verb, how the action has been done. Always remember that adverbs describe verbs, whereas adjectives describe nouns, and an adverb never describes a noun. So, you have to keep this thing in your minds. Let's have a look at this example. Read the sentence with me. I ate a heavy meal. Now, Tell me, my dear students, what is heavy? Is heavy an adjective or is it an adverb? What do you say? Yes, you are right. My students are very intelligent. Heavy is an adjective, as we all know that an adjective always describes a noun. So, heavy is an adjective, it is not an adverb. You are right. Clap for yourselves, everyone. Sometimes we add ly to an adjective to get an adverb. I'll show you some examples. Can you see a lovely girl wearing a pretty party dress? The dress is elegant. Here, elegant is an adjective that describes the dress, which is a noun. Can you see that? Read the sentence with me. She dresses elegantly. Here, we have changed the adjective elegant into an adverb by adding ly at the end of the adjective. So you see, we have changed the adjective elegant to an adverb elegantly. So, at first, the word elegant, that was an adjective, it describes the noun, that was a dress. Now, we have changed it into an adverb elegantly, and now it describes what? It describes the verb dresses. So, you see, an adverb describes a verb and an adjective describes a noun. So, this is the difference. Forming adverbs from adjectives. So here you can see adjectives, and then by adding ly we will change the adjectives into adverbs. Let's come to the first one, beautiful. It has become beautifully when you have added ly at the end of the adjective. Slow, it became slowly. Bad, it became badly. So, we have changed adjectives to adverbs by adding ly. Now, come to the next one, happy. So, you are going to change the adjectives that end in y. First, you will use I instead of y, and then you will add ly. It will become an adverb like happy, happily. Here you have placed an I instead of y, and then when you will add ly at the end of it, it will become an adverb, and that is happily. Just like that, noisy, noisily. Easy, easily. Adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Adverbs often help us to answer the questions how, when, where, to what extent. Adverb is a word that describes a verb and tells us about how, when, and where. For example, the boy is looking closely at a leaf. The girl is going to do it now. Where the little girl loves to stand, she loves to stand here. So you see that an adverb describes a verb, an action word, and tells us about how, when, and where that action has been done. It adds more meaning to the verb. Let's have a look at some different types of adverbs and learn how we use them. Many adverbs describe verbs by telling how an action happens, like running quickly, sleeping peacefully, and talking loudly. Did you notice something about these three adverbs? What? Yes, you are right. At the end of these words, ly is added. So first, they were adjectives like quick, and then by adding ly, it becomes an adverb quickly, peaceful, peacefully, and loud was an adjective, and we formed an adverb by it by adding ly at the end of loud. So it became loudly. That is an adverb. Adverbs can also tell us when or how often something happens. It happens now, then, tomorrow. It always happens. It never happens. It happens sometimes. Let's have a look at some examples like walking now, always happy. Adverbs can also tell us where something happened. It happened inside, outside, here, there, up, down. Where something happens. Look up. Where you have to look? Yes, you have to look up. Come here. Where you have to come? Yes, you have to come here. Adverbs also tell us to what extent. Barely, that means hardly, almost, very, extremely. Adverbs help to answer questions like when. She always arrives early. How? He drives carefully. Where? They go everywhere together. In what way? She eats slowly. To what extent? It is terribly hot. You can add adverbs to make your details more interesting. Now, have a look at this boring sentence. The dog wagged his tail and jumped. Don't you feel it is boring? So, you have to add adverbs in it to make it more interesting. Let's see how we will add adverbs to change this sentence into an exciting one. You can say, the dog happily wagged his tail and jumped up and down. So you see, it's the magic of adverbs that now this sentence is changed from a boring sentence to an impressive one. You can also say, the dog always wagged his tail and jumped excitedly. Now your sentence is so interesting. So, once again I am telling you to remember that adverbs are words we use to describe verbs, adjectives and other adverbs. How, when, where, to what extent. Now dear students, get ready for a plenary, and that is oral. What are you going to do for the plenary? You are going to change the given adjectives into adverbs. So, remember I told you how to change adjectives into adverbs? It's very simple. Read the adjectives with me. Kind, happy, wonderful, loud, sad, beautiful, sweet. So you are going to change these adjectives into adverbs. Do it quickly. I am waiting for your answer. Now, tell me, what is the adverb of kind? Yes, you are right. Kindly. Happy, happily. Wonderful, wonderfully. Loud, loudly. Sad, sadly. Beautiful, beautifully. Sweet, sweetly. So by adding ly at the end of words, you have changed adjectives into adverbs. Look at the word happy. Remember, I have told you the adjectives that end with y, you will change the y into I and then you will add ly to it. So it will become an adverb happily. Now, it is the time for main activity, and for the main activity you are going to bring your English language and comprehension notebook. So please bring it quickly. Dear students, now open up your notebooks and write day, that is Wednesday, on the left side of the page. In the middle, you will write classwork, and on the right side, you are going to write the date, that is 2nd June, and the year is 2021. Dear students, I know that you must be ready for the written work by now. So, you are going to write the topic first. What is the topic? Yes, adverbs. So write the topic. Then you will write the learning objective, and that is, can I write verbs and adverbs in the proper columns? Then after writing the learning objective, you are going to write the question, and that is, from each sentence, write the verb and the adverb that describes it in the space provided. So here are some sentences for you, and what you are going to do after reading the sentences carefully, you are going to pick up the verb in the sentence and the adverb. And then you will write it in the columns properly. So what you will do? You will pick up the verb and the adverb that describes the verb from the given sentences, and you will write separately in proper columns. Let's come to number 1 sentence. Read it loudly with me. The turtle walks slowly. So we all know that turtle walks very slowly. So from here you are going to pick up the verb, pick it up and write it in the verb column, and then after that pick up the adverb and write it in the adverb column. Have you done? That's very good. Okay, now go to the second sentence. Read it with me again. The swimmer practices regularly. So what is the verb here? The action word. And what is the adverb? Write it separately. Number 3. The boy moves the boxes carefully. So what is the action word here in this sentence, or you can say the verb? And how he moves the boxes? So what is the adverb here? Write it in the proper columns. Come to number 4. The musician plays beautifully. Pick up the verb and the adverb and write appropriately. Now come to the last and number 5th sentence. The taxi driver is standing outside his car. So pick up the action word, the verb, and the adverb that describes the verb and write separately. The work is so simple. You can do it. Do it quickly. I'm waiting for it. I'm sure my students have done their work by now. So let's check your answers. Come to number 1 sentence. The turtle walks slowly. We all know this thing that a turtle walks very, very slowly. So what is the action word in this sentence? Yes, the verb or action word is walks. And which is the word or adverb that describes it? Yes, the adverb that describes the verb's walks is slowly. So slowly is the adverb. Come to number 2 sentence. The swimmer practices regularly. Which is the action word here? Yes, you are right. Practices. And how the swimmer practices? Yes, he practices on regular basis or regularly. So regularly is an adverb. Come to number 3. The boy moves the boxes carefully. Which is the action word or verb here? Yes, you are right. Moves. And how he moves the boxes? Carefully. He moves the boxes carefully. So as we all know that an adverb describes a verb, so here the adverb is carefully as it describes how the boy moves the boxes. Come to number 4. The musician plays beautifully. Can you see a musician in the picture? And what is he holding? Can you name this instrument, musical instrument? Yes, it is a flute. So the musician plays beautifully. So what is the action word here? Yes, it is plays. And how she plays the flute? She plays it beautifully. So beautifully is the adverb. Now come to number 5, the last one. The taxi driver is standing outside his car. So what is the action word? Standing. And an adverb also describes where. So where is the taxi driver standing? Yes, very good. He is standing outside his car. So outside is an adverb. So clap for yourselves, dear students. I know all your answers are correct. I hope we have learned a lot about adverbs today. I hope all my students take good care of themselves. Goodbye. Have a productive day, all of you.